Obviously, I'm not a vegan, but the question remains, should I be? This is a package of actual beef, born, raised, and butchered right here in Billings, Montana. And this is a plant-based version, which is called Beyond Beef. I just wanted to say, this is the stuff that if you're a city dweller, you believe is gonna save you from all the evils of the carbon destruction of the world that's going on out here in the western sector of the United States. Everybody that's raising those darn animals. What I'm gonna do is cook these two side by side. You know what? Since this is just plants, couldn't I just make my own? I'm just gonna go off of their ingredient list, make my own patty, and we're gonna cook the three of them together and see which one is better for you and which one is better for the planet. So the first step is here, we're gonna put these ingredients together. I got my ingredient list over here. We need a little bit of water. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna make one patty of these each. So we're just gonna add just a little bit of stuff here. We're gonna put a little water in there. Okay, next, what they use in this is pea protein, which is not pea protein, it's from peas. So I don't actually have any pea protein, so I'm just gonna throw some peas in here. Now, obviously this is gonna be a little healthier than the processed pea protein that they have, but I'm gonna throw some of that in there. Right there, something like that, right? Look about right. They didn't actually put any amounts. Like this isn't like an ingredient list on here. It's just an ingredient list. So I'm gonna have to guess a little bit at the amounts. All right, the next thing we're gonna have is canola oil. Now they put right on their label that they use expeller pressed canola oil. So we're just gonna put a little bit of this in here. I'm not really sure how much they would put in there, so that's about right, right? It's just one patty, right? That's probably way too much canola oil for one patty. Oh well. Okay, the next thing on my list is rice protein. Now I didn't have any rice protein again, but I'm just gonna add some rice. I mean, obviously, if you're using rice protein, using whole rice would be better, correct? So we'll just throw some of this in here. This is stuff that is already pre-cooked, so you don't need to worry about that. I have no idea how much rice you need, but we're gonna go with that much, roughly there. All right, next on my list is dried yeast. So we're gonna put a little bit of yeast in here. There, just a pinch. I don't want too much of yeast in there. I don't know what yeast does, so since I'm, one of these guys that I cook hot dogs and hamburgers, I don't use yeast, but anyway, there's some in there. Okay, now we have cocoa butter. Now I didn't actually have any cocoa butter, so I thought, well, why not just use butter? Now the point of this is actually being destroyed right now because I'm just gonna throw a little bit of butter in here. And because this is actually a product that comes from cows, so from cow's milk, so this is kind of destroying that whole thing. You think that's enough? Probably for one patty. Actually, that might be the one thing that saves this whole mess in flavor. Okay, let's go back to here. The next thing is methyl cellulose. Now, nobody actually knows what methyl cellulose actually is, but they use it in a lot of plant-based things that they're trying to replicate, where they're trying to replicate meat. Because it binds things together, there could be some long-term things with that, but we'll just gloss over that. They're using it to bind this stuff together. Nobody actually knows what it does or any long-term effects. So potassium chloride. I don't know what that is. Never even heard of potassium chloride, but I do have cornstarch, so we're gonna use just a tad bit of cornstarch here. I'm not sure how much is enough cornstarch. It's probably way too much. There we go. Let's use cornstarch. And that's to bind it. So hopefully that'll thicken it up a little bit. Apparently that's what we need. And then we have lemon juice concentrate. So we have a little bit of this. Put a little bit of lemon juice in there. Yeah. We, get a good amount of that. Make sure that's good flavor in there. And then we have vitamins and minerals. So That's all it says on the label. So this happens, I happen to have some really super high quality supplement here. So we'll just add a little bit of that vitamins and minerals. Make sure that we have enough. There we go, maybe a little more. Make sure, this is supposed to be healthy. So we're gonna put enough vitamins and minerals in there to choke a horse because that's probably how they want it. Okay, and then vinegar. So we have apple cider vinegar, and we're gonna add a little bit of that. So if we just take one of these spoons, like that, something like that, I don't know, maybe a little more. I don't know how bad does apple cider vinegar taste? Okay, and I think that's it. Now that's all the ingredients I could find on here. They have some other stuff, so we're just gonna mix this up. It's not working too well. Let's try something else. With this, we're just gonna put this in here. Okay. So let's see what that does. We're gonna stick this lid on here. We're just gonna grind it up good. All right. We're gonna make our patty here in this. So let's just throw this in here. Oh yeah, that's why they use, I'm guessing why they use beet juice to color it, because it is not colored the right color for beef at this point. Okay, we're gonna have to have it doesn't actually look that bad. I mean, other than looking a little like baby food, it actually smells a little bit like baby food too. There we go. Perfect. There. That looks... I'm not really sure how we're going to get that on the grill, but obviously there's probably a little more thickener or binder there that needs to be done. But if it's really good, then I'll try to figure that out. Most likely never try this again. All right, let's get to cooking this. So we're gonna try each one of these. We're gonna throw a patty on the grill of each one, see how they cook, see how they taste, and then we'll talk about my conclusion about which one is best. What I do is make videos and live streams showing the real lives of people who live in between the cities, who care about their family values, and who sustain land and food security that we should all care about. If you care about those things as well, then make sure you join this community. It's time to stop hiding in the shadows and let people know what rural families do for their country. To learn more about what I'm doing, go to lifeinthewest.com today. Now back to your show. This is the other option. This is the same thing as that. It's identical to that. It's just that somebody else made this, not me. So see what the consistency of this is. It's very not meaty. It smells nothing like meat. Absolutely zero like meat. If they're shooting for the meat thing, I'm gonna put like a third of this, 1/3 pound burgers. So a third of this in here. If they're shooting for the meat, that smells nothing like actual meat. So, I mean, it does have ooh, that feels weird. That feels weird, I have to say. It does not feel or smell anything like meat. I really should put oil on it. Now, I do say it smushes into a patty much better than my version, but obviously my version is exactly the same. It's the same ingredients as this one. So, oh, well, it makes a very nice dog food-like patty. A dog food looking like patty. It does. It looks, look at that. It kind of looks like you'd take dog food out of a can and put it there. I mean, pretty close. I mean, obviously, other than the coloring, we just need some red food coloring in there because it would look, that's not bad, honestly. For my first time, I would say that's pretty good. Now we're going with the real meat option. This is first class grain-fed, I have to cut this open, grain-fed Angus beef from Marbled Meats. A little harder to open the package, I will say, you know, just keep things even. I'm gonna take a quarter of this, or a third of this, put it in there. Now, this definitely looks like meat. I wouldn't say, that doesn't smell bad. It's not like it smells bad. It smells a little like baby food. That smells like meat, obviously, because it is. Okay, so let's put this on here. So there we have our 3 patties that we're gonna try. Obviously, these 2 are the same, just without the food coloring in the one. I have to say, this feels so much like dog food out of a can. This is the Beyond Beef. It's like squishy and quite a bit slimy. And then it's got like chunks and they're white. I'm not sure if that's the fat of some kind or maybe some kind of plant. I'm not sure. I'm sure it comes from a plant, but to get that texture, it's like, it's like a ball of dog food with little balls, little hard balls in it. That's what it feels like. Okay, so we're gonna just throw a little bit of butter on here so they don't stick, you know. Make sure we get them cooked good. We got the grill nice and hot. There we go. And these are what we're gonna cook. Now I'm just gonna use salt and pepper on each one. So first we're gonna put this one on. Obviously that didn't hold together real well, but if I can smush it into a pad. There we go, perfect, it's perfect. And then this one is the Beyond Meat and the beef. Salt and pepper them, a little pepper. Now the smells coming off here, are very different than a normal barbecue because it smells a little like, I have to say, like sugar, like you're cooking sugar, honestly. It's almost like a sweet county fair smell coming off of there. So maybe that's what they're cooking at county fairs, I don't know. So I have to say this is almost like an abomination to be cooked in the same spot as each other, isn't it? I'm not sure which one is gonna get offended, but one of them probably is offended already because they're on the same grill. I just got to thinking about it. They might be offended because they're cooked in butter. This is very interesting. You see how this is the meat, and you see how it kind of gets juice on the top of it locked in here? Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. They have designed it to where this is totally not meat, but it's doing the same thing. So they've got beet juices in there, and apparently that is designed to kind of cook up to the top to look like beef is cooking on there. So my question, first of all, is if you have to trick yourself to eat it so much, so to trick somebody into thinking it's meat, why not just eat meat? It comes down to what you believe is better for you and the planet. It really does. Well, I guess we'll find out if it comes down to taste too, but really, I mean, if you're really trying to make it look and taste like meat, feel like meat in your mouth, then the question becomes which is better for you and the planet. It may taste like crap too, but we'll find that out. Okay, at this point, this is the real meat, which has kind of shrunk up a little bit because it's kind of fatty. This hasn't shrunk up, but it did kind of burn on the bottom more than that. And that, of course, that's my creation. I think that looks pretty good. It doesn't look like meat at all, but you know, you throw a little red blood in there to make it look good. It ain't too bad. It's a little flatter. This definitely holds together very well, kind of like coming out of a tuna can or something. It's really smushy, so it holds together well. Okay, I think they're probably done. So let's pull them off of here. Now, this looks a little like Spam, doesn't it? Kind of has a reminiscence of Spam. The real beef obviously looks just perfect, except for the fact that I didn't really pack it right in there and it kind of came apart there for a second. Now I'm not going to put these in anything. I want to taste what they taste like, just like this. because I eat hamburger steak all the time. So would I eat one of these other versions of meat, which is kind of cheap saying? Well, let's see. So there, oddly enough, there is a spammy smell coming from here. So the first one I'm going to try is this one, which is my creation. Of course, it's going to be probably, it might be the best. You never know. You can definitely taste the vitamins and minerals that I put in there. Other than that, that is pretty dang good. I mean, that's just peas and rice, and that's whole peas and rice. So that's not processed peas and rice. Let's see, I did put some canola oil in there and some lemon juice. I could eat this. I mean, this is, as far as flavor goes, this isn't too bad, other than a little bit too much a little heavy on the vitamins and minerals there. Okay, cool. All right. Let's go to the fake meat stuff right here, plant-based. Texture is very good. I mean, it's like a firm burger. You can tell it's a little bit off, but it's almost like, it feels a little spammy in the texture. It's almost like a spam texture to it. It's actually very good, very good. Now, it may have an advantage, a little bit more of an advantage than it should, because I can taste butter in there. I can taste that I cooked it on butter. Shouldn't have done that, because that really gives it an unfair advantage as far as what it actually tastes like. Okay, now this is 100% Angus beef. I saw an episode of Rhett and Link where they tasted these together side by side, and they're like, it's not bad. I'm shocked at the flavor. Top quality burger. I mean, obviously that is a top quality burger. But honestly, I like them all, except for the overdid it on the vitamins and minerals in there. But I like them all. So flavor-wise, could you eat this? It's not meat, but it tastes more like a Spam that's been made into a burger than a burger. I mean, it's good. It really is. So what it comes down to then, like I said, I can taste a lot of butter. So what it comes down to then is how you feel about the product itself and what's behind it. So this right here is Angus beef. So when cattle are grazing on ground, they're poking holes in the crust with their hooves, which in a sense aerates the soil. And then you have them grazing on the soil. They urinate and defecate on that soil. So you have cow poop and urine on there too. And that is one of the best fertilizers, if not the best fertilizer in the world. So you're fertilizing ground that you couldn't ever farm, or a lot of times that we shouldn't farm, because farming, to make this, I gotta take another bite here. I like processed foods as well. This is processed. This is extremely processed. What I made here is not actually anywhere near as processed as that is. Because this, if you look into how they make this stuff, there's a lot of processed steps. This is not processed at all. Hamburger is just meat that's ground up. At least this hamburger is. And at least in this product right here, which is my creation, I put whole vegetables in there. Or not vegetables, whole products. So the peas were whole. That means you're getting all the nutrients from the pea and the rice and everything all at once. Whereas in a processed product, they extract different elements from it. And how your body's going to utilize that, we don't know often how it can utilize that. And we do know that it's not very good to do that. Processed foods are not good for your system. I believe your body can utilize meat so much better, and the fats that come from meat so much better than a man-made product that is trying to process something to look and feel and taste like something that's made by God. Okay, so as I go through my meal here, I'm liking this less and this more. So, which is shocking that is shocking to me that I would like this over that. Now, this tastes nothing like meat, obviously. I missed the mark on that by a long. It doesn't look like meat. The texture is not like meat, and it doesn't taste like meat. But it is a very good accompaniment to that. Heston, my son, is going to try this, my creation right here. Okay, go ahead.
This stuff?
Let's get a little bite of it. What do you think?
I like it.
I do too. I was trying to make something, I thought it would be funny to make something that was really bad. And it doesn't taste bad at all. It tastes really good.
What is it?
Oh, you can try that too. Try a corner. That is Impossible meat.
Oh, so this is different.
That is the stuff that somebody made in the lab. What do you think of that? Why'd you take such a huge bite? No? Okay. You don't like that? What's wrong with it? What does it taste like?
Oil.
Tastes like oil?
Yeah. It's really...
It's got a lot of oil in it,
Yeah.
I think. Okay. Try this. This is my creation right here.
This is?
Mm-hmm. You scared?
No.
What do you think?
I taste like some vanilla or something in it.
No, no. That's Relive.
Oh, that's what I taste.
Yes.
There is vanilla.
I said I can taste a little bit too much of the that's a little overpowering on the vitamins minerals because it said on the label vitamins minerals, so I put some of that in there. But and what do you, and that is fake meat. That's
The texture of it is pretty close to meat.
it is.
Can we see what Chewy thinks of it?
You
I
don't
mean,
is it okay?
it's not terrible. It would not be something I would spend money on and actually eat on it. But it's not like, oh, like take it out of your mouth and
Yeah.
throw it away.
Oh, I kind of thought it was.
He didn't like it at all. I didn't mind it the first bite, and then after the second bite, it just kind of got weird. It started getting really bad. Yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was deep fried cupcake because I tasted the vanilla.
Yeah, it's almost a little sweet, isn't it? So after trying all that and eating more of this, it starts to become not good. So if you can color my recipe with a little red, it'd be closer. This is starting to taste very odd. It's like chemically almost at this point, after you start eating it more. I don't know if this is a test of absolutely anything, but we'll see if Chewy will eat it. Well, he choked, but he ate it. If you want to see more like this, make sure you hit that button, join my community so you can get more in-depth content from me, behind the scenes and otherwise. And until next time, God bless.